Christmas tree is gone. Christmas is officially over. Happy Easter. Such a nice day out. It's been so nice lately. It's so nice and cool. It feels like a waste to not sit outside for at least a bit. Not a freaking cloud in the sky. And it is cool and crisp. And the air quality is okay. So here I am once again after a long walk this morning. About 8 kilometers I walked. What's that, 5 mile? Yeah, like a 5-mile walk I took this morning. So hopefully we'll get a few people in today just to have a little chit chat about stuff. For those who are interested, Chuck just sent me a message not long ago and said that he passed his test and he will be arriving in Thailand in 3 days. So, hang on a second here. Yes. It seems to be working for me to get there. Well, that's why, Andy, so that's great. That's great news. You know, they're not totally heartless here, but they just don't seem to, I don't know. I don't want to get started on this really, but it always seems that they make the decisions that irritate the most people. I wonder if that's how they do it. How can we irritate the biggest mass of people with our decision? And that's kind of what they do. But listen, I mean, I still don't get what they're so worried about with this Omicron. And I saw that there was somewhere close to 9,000 cases. And I'm like, yeah, but how many are hospitalized? And you can't be hospitalizing people simply because they test positive and they have no symptoms. What? I mean, it's just stupid. So without getting into that too much, that now you know my feelings once again. I haven't changed. They have not changed. Cheers to everybody. Good morning. I always stream and I just go, I didn't really plan on streaming today. I didn't plan on streaming. I thought, I'm done. I'm staying inside for the next week. And then I thought, I forgot that I need to get some razors, some safety razors. And I can't get the ones I want through the online app. So I was like, I might as well go. Might as well come here. Then I figured I might as well come here and, you know. Good morning, everybody. Morning, Bill. Yeah, you know, what I found confusing was the whole, we're gonna change our policy on alcohol. In the blue zones, you're allowed to sell alcohol in restaurants up until 9 o'clock. In the other zones, you're not allowed to sell alcohol. But after June 15th or 16th, you can serve alcohol in a bar and pub as long as you are certified. What the fungulo is this? Don't know if you see that. It's the full body suit, sweatsuit. It's the hazmat suit. As long as you're certified as a restaurant, you can serve alcohol. Well, so, you know, how easy is it for them to approve all these pubs and bars that are dying to open up? I don't know. I mean, you know, we'll see. It just seems stupid to me. What is the difference between changing it to a restaurant and it being a bar? Do you think that that's going to stop people from acting like it's a bar? I don't think so. You know. So, anyway. It's good, you know, Andy gets to come, Chuck gets to come, there's a couple of people that get to come. And as my wife said, I don't think it's a good time to come. I think it's kind of, you know, if you don't have your Thailand pass already, if you're not set to come, just, you know, why go through all the bullshit? It's not worth it, in my opinion, you know. If I was some tourist, I'd be like, I'm going to go somewhere else. I really want to go to Thailand, but I'll go somewhere else. And she said, yeah, but, you know, you can come now, and if you're willing to go through that bit of a hassle, you got the place all to yourself. And prices are cheap on hotels and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, yeah, but you're missing the point, and that is that a lot of people don't want to go through the hassle. They're just like, I'll wait. I'm in no hurry. You know, not everybody is dying to come here to get laid by some bar girl or come see their chick that they've known for 2 months or 2 weeks or 2 hours or whatever it is, you know. I met her 2 hours before I was gonna leave. She was the best thing ever. I'm getting married to her. You know, these kind of guys are few and far between. You know, and I was talking to my buddy yesterday. You know, 80%, or maybe it was online, I don't even know. I talk to so many people every day, really, but well, I talk to a lot of people. 80% of the people here tend to be pretty normal. I think it was Jono. I was talking to Jono yesterday. And 80% of the people here, they tend to be, you know, the foreigners, they tend to be fairly normal. And, you know, they're just trying to live and have a good time and, you know, hang out with their family and friends or whatever. But the other 20% are a bunch of just... And you know, listen, some of them, they're coming here and they may be good guys and intelligent guys, but they're here for the bars and the women. That's all they're here for. And I've said it before, I had this buddy, I'll never forget it. He used to get upset because he would think he was so great looking. And I go, dude, you're a baby Huey. You're not all that good looking. Stop thinking, you know, it's the girls playing you. I mean, like, get real. You know, you're not Brad Pitt, you're not George Clooney. You're nothing like them. You're a tubby bastard, you know? He was a baby Huey. And he could not handle that. And I would go, so where have you been outside of Bangkok? The dude had never been outside of the Nana area. You know, like if he went to Eka Mai, that was going a long way for him in Thailand. So, you know, and, you know, he was a nice guy and everything, but I'm just like, dude, you're misguided. And it ain't by me, you know. Yeah, chowderheads, weirdos, whatever. I don't know, man. You know, I've stopped thinking about it all that much, you know. It is what it is. You gotta expect the unexpected. You gotta expect illogical logic. You know, bring all these little catchphrases, these cliche phrases. We're existing in slow motion. We're spinning our wheels. And my wife said, yeah, if we don't get through this year, if this year doesn't get better, the world is fucked. And Thailand is truly screwed. You know. If people aren't working, how are they going to pay taxes? It's not like they pay a shitload of tax here either. You know. And you know, some of these people with big businesses they're doing the exact same thing that the companies in the United States are doing. They're finding loopholes, they're using lawyers, they're cheating, they're just paying as little as they can, you know. Once, you know, Andy, don't even believe it when you're on the plane. Believe it when you've got your test, they tell you that you are negative, and they let you go. Then you can believe that you're in Thailand. And I don't know, I don't remember off the top of my head. I could have sworn they said that they're going to change it to where on the 7th day you have to test again. You won't be stuck, but you're required to test. And you know, they make a big deal about these people who are running away, which, you know, they get tested and then they just split. They're like, screw it, I'm not waiting for the test result. Which is pretty stupid, considering you don't have to wait very long. And how many in the hospital from the virus? And how many died from the virus? That's my big, you know, questions. Those are my big questions. I feel like taking a long journey on a SkyTrain. I don't know why, but lately, maybe it's because I get to see this every day. I see this monorail being built here. No one died yesterday. Well, there you go. You know. Good morning, everybody. Listen, I don't believe anybody. That's the other thing. How about you stop the fucking test and you stop letting all these numbers out and telling everybody how many people tested positive? How about you stop doing that? Just stop it. And guess what? If you end up going to the hospital from the virus, then they can record it. I mean, what else do you need? Yeah, I'm not scared. That's the thing. I'm not scared of catching it. And the only time I was really a little bit fearful was in the beginning. The very beginning, I was like, oh. And then I'm like, wait a minute. This is not even like Ebola. You know. If it was like Ebola and it was a little bit worse than Ebola, to where you have to actually be in an area and you're breathing the air of the dead people, then I would be kind of concerned. But even that, so you stay away. But okay, maybe you don't know where they are, somebody's dying on the street, I don't know. But, you know, it seems that they're pushing this narrative way too far. No, I've never worried about the flu, and to be honest, this was the first, last year was the first the first time that I've had a flu shot in as many years as I can remember. And I only did it because I thought maybe my kids should get the flu shot to be safe, and it was free. I was like, hey, you know what? I might as well take advantage of the insurance. You know, insurance. You know, they don't generally do anything unless it's extremely calculated. So when they give you something free, I was like, hey, you know what? We might as well take the shot. So, test and go tourists are required to have a second PCR on the 6th or 7th day. Yeah, that's what I thought. Which even that, I mean, it's like Alex is going today to get a test so he can travel with his school to northern Thailand tomorrow. And I'm like, wait a minute, he's inside the country and they're making him test? And I'm like, whatever, I'm not going to get in the way of him going, and I'm not going to forbid him from going because he has to get tested even though he's fully vaccinated. I mean, listen, my wife is at the point now where she's just like, hey man, let's just get on with it already. It's I understand that people want to be safe, and you don't want, just because you're 75 doesn't mean that, okay, well, they're going to die anyway. You shouldn't take that approach. 75, 80, 90 years old even. And I know somebody who has like a 93-year-old 93-year-old mother. She caught COVID, and she said she was surprised because it was like having a little cold. Didn't kill her, and maybe she doesn't have any pre-existing conditions. I don't know. Yeah, well, I think we all know how I feel about the feminine view. Quite frankly, I don't care about the male view either. I just care what is a view. I don't care where it's coming from, who it's coming from. I'm not opposed to a woman's view, and I'm not opposed to a man's view. It's funny. I went to check out from the grocery, and I see there's a test right at the checkout. Oh, I got COVID fatigue. I got COVID anger, Lee. I got COVID irritation. There is part of me that's a little bit worried. Like I'm worried I'm going to go somewhere and somebody's going to, like some Thai person or somebody else is going to go, your mask is not on 100%, or oh, you American, you have COVID, you just come from America. Say something stupid to me like that, and I'm just going to have to roll my eyes. This Friday the 14th. There you go. So, a lot of people coming in. And actually, Chuck said to me yesterday, if I travel inside of Thailand, would you like to go somewhere? Would you travel with me? And I said, I don't know. Because, listen, going to Hua Hin and going into the hotel and them asking for my vaccination records, I was kind of like, what the fuck, man? If it's gonna make a difference, why am I wearing a mask? Why do you need me to wear a mask inside? If you require everybody to be vaccinated, why the fuck do I have to wear a mask? It doesn't all add up, It's kind of like 2 + 2.1 = 4. No, it doesn't completely compute, Anyway, today we have the barista of the day are Ms. Mook and Ms. Beer. Well, there is no such thing as logic here. It's illogical logic, and if you try to figure out Thai logic, you'll just fry your brain. But this is not about Thai logic. This is about logic in general. And I get it, I'm sick of this. It's like, what do we talk about now? Oh, wow, I went to this island and it's so beautiful. Yeah, okay. Guess what? You're not going to be going there, but most people are not going to be going there right now because they can't just say, you know what? Wow, that place sounds awesome. I think in about 2 weeks I'm going to take off from work and I'm going to use my vacation time and go away for 3 weeks. And, you know, to be completely honest, the other day I did that video about the 5 places to retire or to travel or whatever, to live. And, you know, there was a couple people, and there's one guy in particular, we know who he is. And, you know, listen, he's entitled to his opinion. He loves this place and everything. But I think that most people who say flat out that they love Thailand, and there are no caveats, there is no but, I think they're the people who have not been here all that long. Because with every place, doesn't matter how good or bad, there's positives and negatives, you know? And I don't think that I don't think that Thailand deserves to rate in the top 5 of places to live or places to move for expats right now. Not at the moment. If things change in a year or two, hey, I'd be more than willing to revise my opinion. But I think Thailand is more like down past number 10, between 10 and 20 somewhere. You know? All right, so I got to figure out how am I going to get in here with all this junk. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to go back inside. Holy shit. Yeah. The Omicron. All I hear, listen, I'm walking in the park. I'm walking in the mall. I'm sitting with people. All I hear the Thais talking about, and I hear on the news, is Omicron. And I'm like, yeah, and? Jesus Christ, enough about this. It's like, you know, these people, it's like they're making such a big deal about it. It's like, next, what are you going to call it? What's the next variant going to be called? Yeah, I don't know what the temperature is, Gennaro, sorry. I forgot to check before I signed on. I was going to, and then I didn't. Let me get in here. See if I can get in here without dropping my plate. How many hands do I have? No computer today. You know, now just about any time any politician opens their mouth, anytime I see something in the news, the first words are out of my mouth. The first words out of my mouth are, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear what they have to say because they're all full of shit. All right, so look at this. This is my Starbucks. Hey Carl, how you doing? And over here is Miss Beer. She's hard at work. Yep. Hang on a second. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, here we go. She's hard at work. You know, I can't help but think that some of these restaurants and places like Starbucks, they have benefited so much from Grab and Food Panda and Line Man and all these other Carl, where are you right now? You could have come, Carl. You could have come here if you had, done a little bit of paperwork. Now it's going to be a little more of a pain in the ass, and you have to do the quarantine or whatever. San Clemente. Okay. No trip to Mexico? I know it's not all that difficult, but I'm like thinking to myself, what the hell am I going to do here now? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here waiting for the 16th, and I don't really know why. I'm like, what am I waiting for? I can do whatever I want. Pretty much, I can do whatever I want because I'm here and I'm vaccinated. I might have to wear a mask out in the freaking hot sun. But right now it's not that hot, so that's what I mean, it's like it's not all that bad. But for people who just want to come here right now, who wants to go through that shit, Yeah, man, you should be able to chill out on the beach, chill out and get some peace and quiet. Watch the sunrise, watch the sunset. I like doing stuff like that. Gets me away from the masses. I'll tell you, what really grinds my gears? Toast my muffins. I go out for a walk. I've been going out every day. Me and the wife. She's into the whole fitness thing again. Trying to not go back to New York in winter. Yeah, you might want to give Mexico a try. It's a pretty good place to be right now. But she's been going to the gym in the afternoon and in the park and walking and in the morning and stuff. So I've been going with her. I've been like, all right, I'll go. And we've been walking 7-8 kilometers a day. And it'll be 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:15 in the morning, and we're out walking in the park. And then you hear a group of, 4 or 5 Thais running. They're not just running. I understand you're running. You go for your jog, No, but they're yapping. It's 5 o'clock in the freaking morning, and they're out. And then another set will come by. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, can't you wait till the sun comes up? Is it that important what you're talking about? You're supposed to be running, focusing on running, not yapping. And it's like, it's my peaceful time. Peace and quiet. There's water, the sun's coming up. You should try some boogie boarding, Carl. It's a little bit easier, and it's a lot of fun too. I used to boogie board. I was good at boogie board. I sucked at surfing. I never really got any good at it, but boogie board. I used to have a boogie board and go every day down in Huntington Beach. But anyway, I'm like, man, I come to the park. I'm like, it's 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm like, I thought I would have a little bit of peace. No. And of course, my wife is just, don't worry about it, And I'm like, yeah, what am I gonna do? I can groan about it, but, what does it do? Doesn't do anything. Well, so what? I don't have a problem with that. Good morning, Dowlo. Good morning. That's it, Yeah, I'm going to go down to a nude at 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Sorry. It's about half an hour, 45 minutes. Well, half an hour at 5. It's 5 minutes down the street to 2 parks in my neighborhood. So, but, you know, I'm not a social person. You know, listen, I can yap to you guys. I can hear you guys, see you guys, read what you write. And then when I'm done, that's it. There's nobody with me. I go back home. My kids, they're pretty quiet. My wife is quiet. You know, we chit-chat a little bit and everything, but like at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning, I'm like, I get up out of bed, I'm still asleep. I'm like, all right, I gotta go. I tell the wife, get up, we gotta go. We go over there. It's like, there should be a law that prevents people from yapping before like 7 o'clock in the morning. You might have a 7 a.m. Meeting or something. Okay, I can understand that. No yapping in the park at 5 a.m. You know? Anyway, just thought I'd bring that up. Of course, she just looks at me and just goes, she'll never get it. You know, she could hear somebody, she could hear a buzzer going off every 2 seconds. And I'd go, don't you hear that? And she'd go, what? What? What are you talking about? That fucking noise. Don't you hear that? Oh yeah, that. Oh, never mind, don't worry. You know, and of course I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, it's a beautiful day out. We're having fun. We're having fun. It's a Sunday. I got my espresso. I got a little apple juice. I started drinking apple juice again. Find it makes things a little crispier, if you know what I mean. Anyway, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on in your neck of the woods? It's just another day in Big Mango. I'm anxious to see just how the pubs and the bars stand up. You know, after the 16th of this month. I'm anxious to see just what happens. Especially like at Tree Town, where I can't remember what just happened, but something happened. A bunch of people got busted or whatever. I never saw the Coconut Girl, Gennaro. And you know, I go over there for you and for Dallo, and you're not even... You don't even stick around to see if the Coconut Girl comes. I'm like, she was walking around here and there, but like she wasn't at her post. And I was busy looking at that owl. That was one hell of an impressive bird. That thing looked like it would rip you to shreds. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. I had to attend something. No worries. But look at this place. I mean, here it is. Sunday, 8:30 a.m. And not a single soul in here. You got the 2 workers, the 2 barista. Here comes customer number 2. they put the yogurt up after I come in. They put the yogurt up. Am I surprised? No. Am I disappointed? Hell no. No. You know, there's several people coming in the next month, and I'm supposed to meet with a guy next week who is a filmmaker. And I'm anxious to pick his brain, but one of the reasons that my buddy, who is a filmmaker, wanted me to hook up with this guy is because this guy's very talented. And I'm sure he thought that me talking to him, I could get a little bit of, I could pick a few things up, because Lord knows I need it. But also maybe I could interview him, talk to him in the stream, which might be interesting. Because I think he's from Poland, and he's lived in Thailand for like 2 years. So that'll be kind of interesting. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But then there's a couple other people coming in, and so I'm sure, you know, I'll be talking to them. So, you know, there's a few things happening. Oh, that was the one where the Muay Thai guy, the 54-year-old guy, got stabbed. Which, you know, I mean, like, that's the kind of thing. I mean, murders and killings and everything like that, those things happen everywhere in the world. You know, most places it happens. But did they have to kill him right outside of Tree Town, one of the most popular tourist places in all of Pattaya? Not the brightest move for the marketing of Thailand, but I'm sure they didn't give a shit about that. Thank you very much, Paul. Choke bead to you. Appreciate it. Good luck for you. And thank you to everybody else who's been regularly and faithfully and graciously making donations and all that other kind of stuff. Buying shirts. You can always get a shirt. Today I'm wearing my Manscaped shirt, which I don't, you know, only one woman that I can remember or that I noticed. I noticed her looking at my shirt and she laughed because it says, Manscaped, your balls will thank you. These girls, they're not looking, you know. And, you know, they might get a little chuckle out of it, but, like, big deal. But anyway, I'm wearing a Manscaped shirt today. But thank you to everybody who's bought the shirts. Get yourself a Captain Save-A-Ho shirt, Wake Up Chowderhead, American in Bangkok. I don't hate people. I just prefer when they're not around, which is my favorite. And I do have a This Is Thailand. And I think I have which was the other one? I think the only other one left, I think, is It's an Adventure. Life's an Adventure. I think that's what it was. It's an adventure. I believe he's going to be in Bangkok for about 2 months. I think he's going to be here for a month, and then he's going to extend for another month. I believe that's what he said. So, yeah, he'll be here a while. Obviously, Andy is coming. Paul just said he's coming. There's a handful of people that are coming here. So it's not like nobody is coming. But what I've found and what I've seen is that people who don't travel all the time they look at Thailand and they go, fuck that, I'm not going to go through that bullshit. People who really want to come here, the hardcore travelers and the people who love Thailand, okay, they'll come. But that's not what Thailand needs. You know, it's just that, listen, it's just like my channel. If my channel was about food or like toilets, how to fix your toilet, how to make a toilet, you know, those kind of things. Everybody can use that. So it appeals to more people than, say, a niche. And I think that's what Thailand is right now. Thailand is just a niche destination. It's gone from a destination that people want to see, and they really want to come and check it out because, oh wow, you know, it's so exotic, I got to go there. And now I think the word is out, just like the word is out about you know, bar girls and jet ski scams and stuff like that. The word's out. Wow, yeah, you see, all these kind of things, that's what makes this situation so irritating. Yeah, what are you gonna do? We all poop. We all gotta eat. You know. I'm amazed that Starbucks can get away with charging what they charge. I mean, they got a little sparkling lemonade over there, and it's about 8 ounces. Sparkling pink lemonade, and I think it's 145 baht. That's like almost $5. And it's like 8 ounces. I'm like, the fuck's in that stuff? It's got to be magical. Anyway. It is nice. I don't particularly like jazz. Jono loves jazz because he's a big trumpet player. Seriously. I don't particularly like jazz, but this, I like this. I like this background, the ambiance, you know, it's nice. Starbucks. Yeah, I mean, you know, the only things that where have I been lately? To the park and to Starbucks and to the grocery. That's it. Pretty much, you know. Didn't I go somewhere a little while ago and stream? Oh, I went to the the Voodoo Cafe. I'm still working on that video. I'm probably just going to combine the Voodoo Cafe and the booster hospital thing because, you know, I might as well. It was the same day. That place is, I really like that place. I still like that cafe a lot. And I don't know, maybe I'll go back there in the near future and have some of their food, you know? Never seen a place like that. I wish there were more places like that. I can't believe this, man. I can't believe how few people are here. Enough of Kron. How about fuck the government of Kron? Government BS of Kron. Anyway. If you're here, good. If you're able to come here, great. You should have a great time. You might have to go through a few little hoops, but nothing major once you're here. So that's great. But I still wouldn't come here right now. I don't care what my wife says. I wouldn't come here. I wouldn't bother. I'd wait a couple of months. I forget who was that said they're postponed until June or something like that, but that's about right. Or they're thinking that June may be around the time that is best to come. I don't know. I would wait until I would wait until October. October, November of this year. I would wait, you know. No more Texas chicken for me. My wife and I were talking about it this morning. We haven't eaten it since all of us got sick from it, which is funny because, you know, Longhorns and Jono had said that they had gotten sick from it, or they had got the shits and they didn't feel good when they ate it. And I was like, not me, never. But man, I don't know what it is. They may use the oil. They may use the oil over and over again, and may use subpar chicken. But I don't want to eat there anymore. Listen, Songkran isn't going to be worth a shit here. Songkran hasn't been worth a shit in a couple of years, and I don't think it's going to be anything special. I mean, yeah, okay, maybe in Pattaya or certain parts of the country they may play a little bit more than others, but for the most part, yeah, you know, this is the thing. People came to Thailand to have a great time. I still remember about 10 years ago when this British guy came over, and he was involved in hanging out with me and the group of guys that I was hanging out at the time with. And, you know, he got into playing out in the front of this place where we were working with a bunch of Thais, and it was just madness, man. I mean, it was so much fun. And it hasn't been like that you know, I know some of it is me, and I haven't, you know, gone out that much and all that, but they you know, it's really not what it used to be here. It hasn't been. Now they may go berserk if things open up this year. I don't know, you know. Omicron should end the pandemic. It could end the pandemic. I just don't know that it's going to end their policies and their restrictions. Yeah, it tends to be the rural areas that are a little bit more fun. I mean, we went to Sortani about, I think it was 3 or 4 Songkrans ago. And, you know, we had a bit of fun. It was fun. But it's still like, I mean, I just remember what it's like 15, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And it was just complete madness, you know. I haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah, and you guys may not remember, but we went out and we were living on Lantprao 111, which is next to Waitani Hospital. And we walked across the street because there were people playing with the, you know, water guns, and they had big garbage cans full of water, and they were throwing at people. So we went over there, and I had a GoPro at the time, and I started filming everything, and you know, we all got soaking wet, and we had a good time. But the kids were, I mean, this is like 10 years ago. 9, 10 years ago, something like that. So when you know, the thing is, when I see some major changes that make things look great, then I'm going to become a believer. But there's been so much interference or interaction from the government that I think is just totally illogical or just flat out stupid. I don't have faith in them anymore. And I think that's another thing that has caused some people to say, wait, I'm just going to go somewhere else. Because they have no faith in the system, in the Thai system, or wherever else it may be that they're going. That's why they decide, I'm going to go somewhere else, because they lose the confidence. You know, it used to be when you come to Thailand, man, you just come in, you get 30 days automatically, you get to extend for 30 days. Nobody messes with you. You didn't need a damn thing. Now, I understand this is a different time. This is during a pandemic. If it gets back to that, then they stand a chance to regain at least a fair percentage of the tourists. But if it just stays in place where you're going to have to be tested, you're going to have to show this and show that. All these people who don't want to get vaccinated, and I know a few, they refuse to get vaccinated. They're not going to be allowed in the country. And some of them, I mean, like what? Who is it? Me So Hungry. I don't think you even go out of Arizona, do you? Can you travel from state to state without showing vaccination, showing that you're vaccinated? Yeah, I would, tentatively plan. And this is the thing: the pandemic, the actual virus, the strength of the virus, the impact of the virus, can slow down and can come to, a near standstill. But that doesn't mean that the governments are going to change their policies. Some of these policies are here to stay, Well, I kind of hope so. Well, listen, it's just like Australia before. It's just like China. Oh, we want 0 COVID cases. Well, good fucking luck with that. Oh, okay. Well, that's good then, if you can do that. You should be able to. I don't think you should have to. I don't think you should. But you can't get into certain restaurants, and there's all kinds of shit like that. And that's just another way that they're dividing people. You rely on my streams, but I got to tell you, I'm fucking sick of going out and having to wear a mask. Say what you will, but I don't want to wear a mask. And I'll tell you what. I come here, when I come here and it's a morning, like a daily thing, it's not always daily, believe me. There are times I don't come here 3-4 days a week, but, most of the time I come here a day, and then I don't come a day, and then I come a day, because I come to the mall. So I figure, I'm going to stop in here and just chill out and get a coffee or whatever. But, I don't want to. When I come here, most of the time, the minute I get here, if I have a mask on, that mask is off. And a lot of times, I just don't even wear one. I'm like, it's too fucking early. There's nobody out. What the fuck do I need to wear a mask for? What good is it doing? I'm sitting here all alone. There's nobody around me. Why would I have to wear a mask? So that's a big thing for me. I don't want to travel around having to wear a mask, And then the other thing is, going to Chiang Mai was easy. Nobody asked me for anything. They did ask my wife, but she didn't get my paperwork or anything and then give it to them. So it was just so that they had her information. But Hua Hin, they did, it was a hotel thing, and they made everybody show that they were vaccinated. And Longhorns, he was vaccinated. He was vaccinated, and I don't think he had his phone at that point. I think he used his tablet or something, and he had to fill some things out, some forms out or whatever. Yeah, I don't get the whole wearing a mask. Listen, I saw, who was it? The one girl wearing 2 masks yesterday, and I'm like going, how much is that going to help? Doesn't that hinder your breathing? Because I know, like with me, I'm like, I wear a mask, and I'm like, man, get this fucking thing off of me. I wore a mask in Hong Kong, and I'll tell you what, that mask that I wore was better than these masks. You know what I mean? Like, it was better to wear it. It was more comfortable. You felt it on your face, but the seal was good. I could breathe. This thing, you wear it, and it's like, first of all, what the hell's it doing? Is it really protecting me? Yeah, I don't want to listen to Fauci. Fuck Fauci. Ah. Miso, she listens to Fauci. Miso, or the girl that I was talking about? Miso, you wear like 3 masks and you've been vaccinated and you have like 2 boosters. Yeah, well, that's over there, Jim, not here. And what I tell Patty and Bob all the time is, what's going on in America for the most part doesn't make a bit of fucking difference to me now. You know, really, because what can I do about it? I can't do anything about it. Now, you know, my wife was talking again today about, do you want to go here? Do you want to go there? I go, wait a minute. I go, what happened to Qingdao? You want to go to Qingdao? You said you want to go to Qingdao. I'm like, do you want to go to Qingdao or not? I said, because I want to go to a freaking island. I want to go to some beach where we have a little bungalow and we can just, like, you know, flat out. I'm like, you know, I want to hang out. You and me, we hang out. We want to go for a morning walk. We go on the beach. We have a little fruit for breakfast. We take a little, you know, a little sightseeing in, go take some photos or whatever, come back, chill for a few hours, have dinner, you know, hang out on the beach, do our thing, you know. Somehow I don't think Bob is missing out. And I tell you what, I don't want to be in the United States for anything. Herd immunity. What is that? When you hear the immunity? I heard the immunity. Yeah, I mean, so what's the point of wearing a freaking mask then? Even the Thais, I see them going around on their motorbikes and they've got it down by their chin. Which, you know, if you really want to be technical about it, when you do that, any germs that were on your down here in your lower area, when you pull it down and then you pull it back up, well, you're bringing the germs right back up. So what's the point? Yeah, I don't get the whole, listen, I'm in the freaking grocery sometimes. You got a guy or his wife, they got 2 masks on, a shield, long sleeve shirt, and gloves on. And I'm like, you know what? Even if you are a bit ill, I don't know, man. It just seems like overkill to me. The thing is whatever makes you feel comfortable. That's what I gotta say. Who am I to say what they should and should not wear? But Jesus Christ, some of them, when I see a little 18 or 20-year-old girl wearing 2 masks and a face shield and using the gloves and like going like this, and then as soon as she puts the gloves, she washes her hands and fuck me. Okay, if we were to wager when the pandemic is going to be over, what are we going to say now? And with that, I must say, please, if you like this stream, if you like what is going on in the stream and on my channel, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, check down in the description, get yourself a shirt, get yourself a book, become a sponsor of the channel, become a Patreon patron, use the, buy me a coffee, use that. You want to buy me a coffee? You know, shit, buy me a coffee, here, there's my coffee. Thank you very much. All right, now, it will never be over. 2030, the rules keep changing. Glad we are not in Thailand. I don't know why you're glad you're not in Thailand. Tell you what, I'd rather be in Thailand than be like in the United States or Australia or the UK. You know, booster shot 8. Well, I think what's going to happen is there's going to be such a kickback from the people that I'm going to say 2024, because that's when the elections are going on. You know, I'm sorry, but like, does anybody have any faith in Biden? I don't. And you know, I really don't care about what's going on over there. No offense to my fellow Americans, but I cannot allow myself to give two shits about what's going on there. You know, it just doesn't matter. Well, I think there's a ways to go before the politicians start relenting. Well, listen, don't get me started on the politicians in America, especially that Beetlejuice in Chicago. Jesus Christ. What the hell? I mean, has anybody ever seen this woman? I mean, I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're the mayor? Fucking go to a stylist, honey. You know what I mean? Be a little more presentable. Take better care of yourself. You gotta be the mayor of a city? Oh my God. Fucking buy some new shoes. It's like she's like a sloppy fucking Beetlejuice. It's terrible, man. And you know, that's not to mention all the other shit she's done. And what about Seattle? Which I lived in Seattle for a month, and then I got out of there and went to Alaska. Then I came back for like 2 or 3 days, and then I left for Thailand again. She did go to a stylist. That's pretty sad, man. I mean, you know, she doesn't fit the part. I don't know. No offense. I don't care about her beautiful fucking wife. Jesus Christ. Why would I care? You know, really, Pathia Bob sends me all this stuff sometimes. And, you know, he's trying to keep me informed and all that. And, I just look at stuff and I'll see the headline. I go, don't give a fuck. He'll send me another one. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to watch that. Send me another one. Don't give a fuck. Don't give a flying fuck. Biden says this and this and this. Don't give a shit. I don't care. Because you know what? I don't live there. And I haven't lived there in 27 fucking years. You know, so say what you will about, you know, and I can complain because I live here. But the complaints that I have about Thailand are far outweighed by the positives. This place has got so many fantastic things going on here. And, you know, the thing is that people do want paradise. They do want perfection. And I don't necessarily expect it, but then again, I'm like, oh, it's cloudy outside today. There's too much pollution. Oh, the traffic was a little heavy. You know, like, you're living the dream. So I'm told. I'm going to try to retire in about 4 years, and then I'm traveling. Well, give me another 3 years. Things are going to be quite a bit different. Mark my words. Mark my words. I don't know how much traveling I'll do because I've done a lot of traveling already. I'll do some traveling. I know my wife wants to travel, so she might drag me along. I don't know. shit, man. Different for the better or worse. You know, the Thailand that here's the thing. It's very difficult to make a statement that is 100% true when I'm looking at it from a perspective of somebody who's almost 60 years old. When I came over here, I was 32. So the way that I thought when I was 32 and still fairly young and crazy and running around, and all I wanted to do was, chase tail and, party and be in the Muay Thai gym, that kind of thing. Versus now, my perspective has changed. And, back then I was like, man, this place is the best. But maybe I was a bit naive. Maybe I expected too much. And I didn't expect it to change the way that it's changed. And, it's different. If I was to go in to a club when I was 32 and I was single, I'd probably have a great time. I'd be like, man, yeah, this place is awesome. Hot chicks, fucking man, everybody's cool, whatever, right? But now if I was going to go in there, I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. I don't feel like listening to this fucking shitty music. You know what I mean? Like, how many times can you listen to the Lemon Tree before you get sick of it? Yeah, well, every day you're above ground is a bonus, In fact, me and my wife were talking again, and she's like, I'm surprised, you're the one waking me up every day. And I'm like, well, it's dawned upon me that maybe if I walk every day, and I've been walking with my streams and just a little bit on my own and stuff, walking and exercising and stuff like that. But I said, maybe if I just do something specifically every day, which is be at the park at 5 o'clock in the morning, walk for an hour and a half, and do some calisthenics or whatever, and I just do that, I'm gonna live long enough to be able to enjoy my senior years. My senior being in a few years from now. I'm gonna be able to enjoy them even more. Whereas if I don't, maybe I'll die before I can enjoy them, or maybe I won't be in a position where I'm physically able to. So I'm like, that is pretty important. I really need to stick to it. So, there's something to be said about making it as long as you can, as long as life is enjoyable. And like if I had terminal cancer, I don't want to be living another 10 years and laying in a bed. But I'm really surprised that nobody's here. I can't do the fucking keto diet. What don't you understand? I can't do it. And there's a reason why. And it's because I don't have a gallbladder. My body doesn't process foods, fatty foods. Listen, I've tried eating bacon. I love bacon. I love the flavor. I love the taste. And all kinds of beef and stuff like that. But it upsets my stomach. I'm better off on the Mediterranean or pescatarian or something like that. No, I understand, and I did do it, and it does help. But, I get the shits all the time, and my stomach is always upset. So now I have to really it seems like I finally healed about a year ago. It seems like I finally healed inside. And, eggs, all this stuff, the beef, the veggies is good, Some eggs is good, but a lot of beef. Well, it's not that you can't do it. Uh, some of the food doesn't sit well with people because they don't have a gallbladder to process the fat. Listen, I've been looking into it, believe me, and I'm on one of those things where it's like you're supposed to eat legumes and chicken breast and nuts and stuff like that. You want to bring the list the next time I stream, Yeah. But yesterday I had an avocado and a little bit of cheese in it, and what else did I have? Some chicken breast for dinner. That was my dinner, Ah, shit. Now that Longhorns isn't here, polluting my diet, I blame him, but it's not his fault. It's my lack of willpower. That's exactly what it is. Look, I went to that Voodoo Cafe the other day, and they had this piece of cheesecake. And I looked at it and I went, Carlos loves cheesecake. And I'm like, I haven't had a piece of cheesecake in a long time. I'm like, son of a bitch, man, I gotta try that. I couldn't pass it up. I was weak. I had to have that piece of cheesecake. Now that doesn't sit very well with my stomach, Actually, on the keto, you're not even supposed to be drinking a lot of caffeine drinks, like coffee and tea. You should limit the number that you drink, which, I drink like 3 double espressos a day. Eat a lot of beans, that kind of stuff. And, to get my wife to change over and just cook for me and cook that kind of food is like, so I'm on my own. I got to do it myself. And, if I'm at home and I'm not going all kinds of places and it's much easier, to cook what you want. What's going into your food, what's going into your meal, Anyway, now there's some people starting to show up. Good morning, good morning. One thing I really look forward in the morning is a plunger of coffee with cream. Yeah. I just have the espresso, no sugar, no cream, nothing. And once in a great while, I'll have, I'll have something else. Well, I'm the real Scott Mallon. I can tell you that. I don't know if who's who and who's real and who's not. I don't have any idea, but really slow today. It's a slow day, man, but it is a Sunday. It's a little bit early, so Anyway, I don't know how many of you, Dallo, I think you missed the coconut girl yesterday. Not that she's anything magical or exquisite or anything like that, but I think you missed her. I don't think you were in the stream at that time. And you missed the owl. Which that thing was a killer, man. Oh yeah, you were, okay. Yeah, that owl was impressive, man. I looked at that owl and I was like, that thing will rip your neck apart. you know? Anyway, I want to try to take, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I want to see what happens after the 15th, just to see if there's any major changes. If they, if the thing is that if they get over 10,000 cases here, the CCA and Anatin, they may start to lose it, and they get their little panties in a bunch, and then things will change here, and they may not be for the better. I don't see them changing things up that much, so I still am planning on going somewhere, doing something. I just don't know where, and if I'll be with my wife or just be me, or got no idea really at the moment. I'm in a holding pattern, which is what most people are in. I thought it was the crazy girl. I thought it was the one that came in. At first, I don't know why I thought that. It reminded me of the holding pattern is so old right now. I mean, it's how many years are we gonna do this? Why don't they, what they ought to do? I think they should give it like a 2-week period where they just go, all right, everybody don't wear your mask. We're not going to check for vaccines. We're not going to check anything. Let's just see what happens after 2 weeks. We're going to give a trial. Give it a shot. If you're elderly, we recommend that you don't go to places with large numbers of people. You wear a mask, you protect yourself. We recommend you do that. Otherwise, you're on your own. 2 weeks. Just give it 2 weeks. A little trial basis, and see what happens. Look at this. Oh my gosh, she's spraying on the tables, spraying all the tables, spraying all the chairs. Safety. God. Yeah, but they won't do that. They're never going to do that because they don't want to stop the tyranny. I can smell it all the way over here. The 2 tables over here, look. The 2 tables there. The 2 chairs and the cushion that she put her bag on. All of those, she got the little sprayer and sprayed every single one of them and wiped them all down. Safety. How long are we going to live in fear? Yes. She was cleaning the tables, she was cleaning the chairs, and she sprayed the whatever it is, the alcohol onto the seat cushion where she's going to sit. And I was laughing, and she started laughing because she knew I was laughing. She was just like, anyway, whatever, whatever makes you happy. So if that is David Bond in here, David, where are you? Are you in Thailand? Are you in here for a specific reason? You just want to chill out and chat, or what's the deal? I've heard of you, but I don't watch your channel or anything like that, but I know who you are. If this is the real guy, the customer was clean. Oh, yeah. No lockdowns in Australia anymore, apparently. Yeah. I just remember that one police officer. It was a female. She was standing right on the outside of some department store, and let me think how it went. The guy had his mask. Was it the guy was going in or the guy was going out? It was like right when he was coming out. Well, apparently, listen to this. Apparently, Djokovic had the COVID last month. So I didn't read into it. I just saw that headline. Um, yeah. Lost my train of thought. Well, we're almost at 90 minutes right now. I don't have a whole lot to talk about because I didn't plan on streaming today. I didn't do any research. I didn't look anything up. I didn't bring my laptop. Just a more of a, personal chit chat. Me to you, you to me. Yeah, you know what? I haven't bought one rapid test, and I won't. Because you know what? If I'm not sick, then what the hell do I need? If I don't feel sick, what the hell do I need to buy the goddamn test for? And I'm vaccinated. What do I have to buy the test for? Why do I have to test for anything? I don't need to test for shit. I don't want to test. I know places that they test every single day when their employees come in, the person has to test. I know numerous places like that here. They have to test every single place. What is this? Are the prices the same in Thailand? No. Always fun. Like sheep, because it is all a joke. Time for everyone else to recognize it. Yeah, well, next they're gonna call some cold the next deadly virus, and then they're gonna extend things. So there you have it. The viewers have spoken. It's a big joke now. Yeah, I know. It's, and that's why I started to watch it, and I think I was tired. I fell asleep or something. What did I watch? I watched that Joe Montana. I told you guys about that. I watched the Joe Montana documentary. Pretty good stuff, but only 2 episodes so far. Yeah, I just, like I've been saying, and I know it gets a bit monotonous, but there's gonna be a time when we, as in my family, gets the hell out of Bangkok, and maybe even Thailand, and we live somewhere that is fairly isolated. It can be some place they just don't give a flying fuck. They're like, we're not buying into this bullshit. Some place like Albania or Bulgaria or Uruguay. I don't know, The problem is I will have the next... Oh, shit, man. I'll have the next lab release will be deadly to the uncooperative. Maybe. Who knows, Yeah. They don't open for a half an hour here. Yeah, turkey's a great choice. That's if they sell it. If you can find it. If you want to go to Villa Market. So it's really a good documentary. I'll have to watch it. Yeah, Portugal as well. Some of these places, they just don't give a shit. They're like, they don't believe in it. And, just because there's a lot of cases, first of all, you don't count the number of cases of, thank you, Dallo. Thank you very much. It's my apple juice. That's what I'm doing. We don't need to know how many cases there are. I mean, I don't know how many cases of the clap there are in the world. I don't know how many cases of dengue fever there are. I don't know how many cases of malaria there are. Now, at some point I had an idea of those two, but not the clap. I don't know about the clap or syphilis. I don't know how many people know how many cases of, say, syphilis are in every country every year. I don't think most people know. Doctors might know, some doctors. So why do we need to know this shit when it's not killing us anymore? And you're not dying from it. Anyway, I can go on and on and on. Well, Tahiti, I don't know that that's going to meet my needs. Tahiti, I believe Tahiti's a bit expensive. Referring to number of positive tests as opposed to number of deaths in comparison to the causes, put things, yeah, exactly. The thing is all I need to know is how many deaths there are. If you're in Thailand and there's 50 deaths in, say, a month, that's 600 a year. That's not all that much. Thank you, Mr. Andy. Thank you very much. Okay, Scott, and all lunch is ready. See you next stream. All right, Dallo. Good luck getting over here. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. You too, Andy, and choke D to both you guys. Yeah, we must learn to live with the corona. Definitely. And I think they're not doing this. I don't think that the governments really are. If they made it their mission to learn to live with the virus, they would just tell people, they would go on a campaign, and I'm sure they've done this in some places, including America. They would go out and they would implore people to get vaccinated. Get that vax. You don't want to get the vax, okay, but hey, it might be to your benefit. Hey, John, how you doing? Thank you very much, and thanks for becoming a member. I think if they want to do anything, then they need to implore people to get vaccinated, and they just need to stop this shit, because, I've thought, hey, me and my wife, if we move somewhere, we could start some kind of a business, whether it's a little restaurant, a little, import-export shop, a little whatever the hell it might be, an online kind of thing. But I'm like, who wants to start a business in this day and age? At least a brick and mortar business. Who wants to do that? Not me. Wasn't that Dickhead Nukem? Yeah, take your vitamins, eat fairly healthy. You don't have to be you don't have to be a freaking MMA ultimate fighter. You don't have to be, the best of the best and in that kind of physical conditioning. But, you need to be healthy. Oh, God. If I did that, I'd be fucking out of business in a month. All the girls would sue me for Gennaro's sexual harassment. He's always trying to stick his thing in me. I can never get the coffee made because he's always walking up from behind me with a hard on. I can hear it now. a coffee shop. I'm gonna open a coffee shop up in Portugal. Open it in Portugal. Jesus Christ. Keep me away from it because I'll make the place a freaking loser. I'll end up drinking so much coffee. I'll be drinking coffee there all day long. Yeah, well, it's horse tranquilizer. It's horse dewormer. Oh, wait, the horse tranquilizer is ketamine. Special K. Anyway. What are you going to do? You just put one foot in front of the other and just keep going. You know? I saw something, and listen, I got to be honest. And, man, there are days when I just go, fuck, I am just so fucking sick of this. And it's not even that I'm physically constrained by some of these policies, but it's that it does your head in. You're hearing all these changes and this and that. Oh, what's going to happen? And there's this uncertainty. And after a while, I'm like, fuck, man, I don't want to look at the news. I don't want to hear. And then I'm like, okay, so then I don't hear anything and I don't know what's going on. That's not the wisest move either. But, I just thought about it. I thought, hey, you're going to have your days where, you don't feel so great, your days where you feel good. But I'm like, man, some of these places, think about some of the Chinese. They're not going anywhere. They're not traveling. They don't have a choice. They got no choice. At least some of us still have choices. Which is more than some people can say. And then I start going, ain't that bad, I do that all the time. It's constant with me. I hear, oh, you can't, we're gonna have to, if you want to drink, and the thing is, I don't even drink. It doesn't really matter to me. You want to drink, you're going to have to be approved as a restaurant. Well, what the hell is the difference between a pub being a pub and serving booze and a pub selling food? They think people are going to sit down longer and they're not going to open their mouth as much and they're not going to be slobbering on women. They're going to eat their crackers and then they're going to go over and start macking on the girl, whispering sweet nothings in her ear, So tell me, what is really, I'd like to know, if anybody has any ideas, what is the big deal? I understand if it's a bar, because the booze loosens people up, and then, people are more lackadaisical, and they start swapping spit. Maybe they're finger banging some chick in the corner or whatever. I don't know. You got some bar girl sitting on your lap and, she's got no top on and you're whispering in her ear. And what's the difference between that and a pub, aside from the fact that in some go-go bars, girls are partially naked? Well, there you go, Wesley. And that's another reason why, and I've said this before, for me, I'm in it. I'm in the midst of it. I've been in this for a long time. I've been here a long time now. I put the time in. And, you get entrenched in it, and then it's just like, okay, then you have to extricate yourself from it. But somebody who is planning on moving here now, the trend, and this is what I've been saying, the trend of Thailand does not look positive in my opinion. And, if you remember, I used to say, I think Thailand's heading towards a Singaporean model. No, I don't think that anymore. I think now they're heading for a Xi Jinping Xi Jinping model, CCP model. I really do. Vietnam, it's a great place, but like to live there, I think, yeah, Winnie the Pooh model. I think Vietnam is a bit unstable because the government doesn't give a fuck. You know, they don't even have a retirement visa. And the one thing that people want when they retire, and I didn't think, you know, hey, I'm going to retire here. I didn't know when I first moved here, you know. And that may have been an oversight, a huge flaw in my thinking, that I didn't think that far ahead. But I think to do it now, you really need to look ahead and see, hey, where is Thailand headed? What is it going to mean? And what is the level of uncertainty? Because if you're moving, for me, I'll tell you what really worries me is that maybe when I'm 68, 75, whatever, I'm an older guy, my wife's a bit older, and, you know, things are a little more difficult for us physically, and then something happens in the Thai government, it's like, oh, you're going to have to do this, or you're going to have to leave, or you're going to have to come up with some other way, or something like that. Who the hell wants to have to just pack up and split? Even if you have like a month. You want to, when you're like that old, what do you really want to just jump up and leave? Not me. I want to take my sweet ass time. If I want to move somewhere, hey, listen, if I want to move to Portugal, I'm going to go, okay. I may move in another 6 months. I'm planning my move. My buddy who's moving to Cambodia, that's what he's doing. He's giving himself 6 months. He's planning it out. He's putting his money aside, and he's, going to do that. Oh, thank you, Sir Winnie, Mr. Newcomb. Couldn't stay away, could you? Thailand attracts all types. You know, I used to think that my buddy used to tell me, dude, you're out of control, you're a maniac. And I used to be like, what? Nah, I don't think so. Not really. Sometimes, but, and then I look at some other people and I go, man, I'm pretty stable, man. I'm pretty level-headed for the most part. There are some absolute nuts, morons, douchebags, from all over the world that come here. I don't know why they pick it, and maybe that's why Thailand has been so strict or has been so vehement in implementing new policies and new laws and changing all the time and updating them. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe they just got sick and tired of the foreigners coming in here thinking that they could run scams on from here, and I don't know. Could I? At this point, I could. I don't know, but it's worth it, to be completely honest. And I don't know, but I really want it. Yeah. I could, but it's a bit costly, and I don't know, but it's worthwhile. Just look at some of the Eastern European countries. Look at what's going on. Yeah. Well, yeah, there you go. Now, I don't think I would live in Kazakhstan. To be, quite frank, I don't think I would live there. But that's the other thing. You're here in Thailand, man. If something kicks off, one thing that people forget is usually you see things slowly eroding and then something big kicks off, or something kicks off that initiates the bomb, the big explosion in the country, like in Venezuela or whatever. That's bullshit, Jim. You can apply. You certainly can't, because I've been told by immigration, why don't you apply? And then one of them said, I don't know, but it's all that worthwhile for him. And I started looking at it, and I went, I don't think it is. And I had thought about it a couple of years ago. It is possible. You got to get your PR, and then you get your citizenship. But it is not easy. And it's a long process. It's an 8-year process. So, the other thing is, I think to myself, do I really want to end up here? I don't know at this point. There was a time when I first moved here, I thought, I want to live here forever. And that was a bit naive. To be completely honest, it's very naive. Now, if you're coming over here when you're younger, or, you're 40, 45, and you go, I'm going to live there for the rest of my life, because things change. Countries change. Policies change. Don't buy that, Jim. Don't buy into that. They say the same thing about kids and kids holding dual citizenship. But my kids, they hold Thai and U.S. citizenships. Technically, if one of the countries wanted you to choose, then you need to choose. But they never make you choose. So it doesn't matter. Both my kids have dual citizenships. Yeah, listen, when it comes down to it, the U.S., I think they're constant. They're doing exactly what the people who founded the U.S. didn't want done to them. That's where they are now. It's become so big and it's just one big corporation. It's one big corporate bang up the yin yang. There you go, I like that. Put that on a shirt. With the U.S., you get the bang up the yin yang. You're banging the yin yang. I don't know. But you are supposed to. I've heard that, and I've said it when I was younger. When I first came over here, I'm gonna live. What are you talking about? I'm gonna live here. I'll live here forever. I'm never going back. Now, I understand that I may go back to the United States, at least temporarily, for a number of reasons, and I mean for a few months. But after that, I want out. And, I used to say I would never relinquish my U.S. citizenship. However, there are opportunities for other citizenships, other passports, It's a matter of money, though. Do you really want to do it? Do you want to pay the expense to not be an American? Hey, thanks a lot there, Richard. Do you want to pay the expense to not be an American? Do you really want to become a citizen of another country? And do you have enough money to be able to get around whatever's the reason why you want to relinquish your citizenship and become a citizen of another place? For me, it's mainly that I think that the U.S. government has their claws into everything. They think they own you. And I don't think that, I think they're overreaching their bounds, And I don't know that anybody who is I don't know that people living inside the country, some of the people are completely oblivious. If you go abroad and you go travel a little bit, you see what else is available, you go, what the fuck is going on over there? It's like this new thing about, the $600 and the PayPal and the Venmo and well, yeah, that's another issue. Man. And that's something that, that's why I say it's about money. If you've got millions of dollars, and I mean, I'm not talking about 1 million, because $1 million is not necessarily going to be enough. It should be, but if you play your cards right. But let's say you got 3 or 4 or 5 million. All right, well then, you probably don't give a shit about paying $5,000 to relinquish your citizenship and paying whatever it is to get citizenship somewhere else. You get multiple citizenships. But it's also about what are you going to save by not being with the U.S. I mean, if you're only going to get, let's say you're going to get $4,000 a month, $3,000 a month, we'll say, $3,000 a month from Social Security, but you're earning more than that from your stocks, your dividends, whatever it might be, or you've just got it in cash, we'll say, then what do you care about the Social Security for? You probably don't. And if you're earning money, then you're probably not going to get that Social Security anyway. I mean, right? Anyway. Once we get Chucky in here, I'm going to try to get Chucky in here in about a week. And we can bring Soy Dog Cowboy back in. I'm going to have to get the little software that, allows me to interact with people and put the video inside the video and all that kind of stuff and link up with these people. Makes it much easier. Then we'll do that. So that'll mix things up a little bit. You don't have to just listen to me drone on. Everything's opening up now. 10 more minutes. I'm not sure where I'm going to stream from next or when, but I think maybe Wednesday or Thursday I will stream again, and I do not think it will be here. I think it will be from somewhere on the Chao Phraya, somewhere nice. I don't know. We'll see. Coffee with Scott in 25 days-ish. Yeah, well, I'm hoping everything goes smoothly for you. Because you know what? Then it's like, it wasn't so bad. It's worthwhile. But if they jerk your chain and they jerk you around, then you're like, man, what a pain in the ass. I'm never going back. Well, I can't see you saying I'm never going back to Thailand again, but people who come to Thailand, they tend to come to Thailand all the time. Once Thailand grabs you, then you're grabbed forever, I check that temperature. See, there's people outside, people waiting to come in. I got to get one thing today and one thing only, and that's it. My kid leaves tomorrow for his trip, going to northern Thailand. I'm always happy when he goes on little trips like that because it always makes him happy. And the only thing is that, he's not going to bring his guitar with him or anything like that. So that means it's a couple of days where he can't practice. And he's got this, I've talked about it, but he got this interface that he plugs his guitar into the interface, I think he plugs it into the interface, and somehow maybe with a splitter or something. I don't know. It goes into. I haven't looked at it. It goes into the amp as well, and then the interface goes to the computer, and then so he has been writing, all kinds of riffs and music and stuff and it digitizes the music, and he records it onto his computer. So he's very happy that he has that now. He's wanted that for quite some time. And the next thing we got to get him is an effects pedal, and hopefully he'll be back in the studio when he comes back from his trip, and I'll be going in there with him sometimes, because I always loved going in there with him, just hanging out, watching him, and watching him grow as a musician, because this is something he'll do all his life, so. Yep, going through the ropes, not like the good olds, 2019. I've been to Thailand, only been to Thailand 2 times, but it's unforgettable. Yeah, there's something about the people, and there you go. There's something about the people and their demeanor and the very accommodating culture that reins people in. And some of my friends, I've said this before, but some of my friends, I've asked them to come over here, and for whatever reason, their girlfriend won't let them, their wife won't let them. I got to bring my wife in, now's not a good time. And I've been talking to these people for years. I've known them for many years, I'm talking about 30, 35 years, or more. And, I always get, well, yeah, I will one day. And I always think, if they come once, they'll be back, They'll be back. But I think, another thing is that, like I said earlier, Thailand they're shooting themselves in the foot, because they don't look more accommodating. Maybe to the little old ladies out there, they look like they're, safety. We're really safe. Everything is good in China. We're taking good care of it. Okay, I understand. But to a lot of the younger people, I think they're just like, fuck this. I'm not going through all that bullshit. I can just walk into Mexico. And what I really like here is I don't ever feel threatened. I'm very, very comfortable here. Now, granted, I've been here a long time. And, Jono and I were talking about it, how, he's a single guy who lives in a condo, kind of an apartment, rather. And he has no kids. Well, he has no kids living with him. No girlfriend, right? In that respect, he's much different than me. But we both are in a similar situation in that we have a life that we set up. We set it up for ourselves. I knew at one point, I thought to myself, hey, I'm not opposed to getting married if I meet the right girl. Now, to me, it's like if I've been with her for 22 years, something must be right. I'm not one of these people who's going to say everything is magical and perfect and it's a honeymoon all the time. No, it's not, of course. Sometimes it's just flat out work, and sometimes you just go, I'm going to not even think about it. I'm not going to let it bug me. This is how she thinks, this is how she wants to think. And I gave some examples yesterday. I would never buy into the whole ghost thing or anything like that. I'm never going to. But just because she wants to, okay, fine, whatever, You got to be somewhat tolerant, just like them. That's something that you learn here, is to be tolerant. But I feel very comfortable here. And, while my language, and sometimes I stay inside for a couple days at a time, and then I go out and I'm like, shit, what was that word I wanted to use? I can't remember certain words. I don't remember exactly what I'm going to say, how to say something. But for the most part, I have no problem And once you get in, and you're in the system here, and you know how to go down and you know how to go and order something, or you know where you can buy something, or um, you know where to get certain things, and it's no problem. You know how much things cost, and you know you start to just get into things, and it's just you get into the groove, and then that's it. You know, this is home, and I think that listen, I'm going to say give this place another 15 or 20 years, and if they play their cards right, I think just because Bangkok is a international city, it's a hub for transportation, for travel to other countries. I think they're going to eventually get a lot of people back here. I don't know if they're going to match their previous numbers, but I don't think in the next year or two that's going to happen. I think it's going to take quite some time to get it back to how it once was, if they ever do. And I do think they're going to change it. I do think they're going to change Pattaya. I do think they're going to change the whole sex scene, the nightlife scene. I'm not saying it's going to go away. It's going to change. It's going to morph into something different. I mean, this is not the same as it was when there was no Nana and it was Kong Tui. I don't know if you know, but, back in the day, that's where a lot of the bars were, down by the pier. And, it's just things change. That's the only constant, change. And so this place is going to change. Now, it's just what remains to be seen is it change for the better or not? Will it still be able to entice people? And, will I still want to live here? I don't know, I mean, listen, at this point, I'm game for anything. So would I leave here? Yeah, I would. I'd leave here now if my kids and my wife were up for it, and if we were in a stable environment, we knew we had something going on, yeah, we would do it. But probably we would be back here, and we would set something up to where we lived part-time somewhere else, part-time here. If things change in the next few years, who knows, anything can happen. If this place turns into another China, which I'm going to say that, in my opinion, the influence has already taken hold, then I don't know. Anyway, the mall is open now. We're at the end of our stream, end of the road. Everybody's coming in, as they always do. They're unlocking all the doors. And we're at the end of the line. So, Pattaya, Walking Street, and Soy Cowboy, I could not care less. Listen, Soy Cowboy, I never went to Soy Cowboy when I first came here. I went to Nana. I never went to I did go to Pat Pong, but rarely did I go there because it was such a shithole, in my opinion. I did go to Clinton Plaza, but I rarely went to Soy Cowboy. It wasn't all that hot back then, in my opinion. It wasn't nearly what it is, well, it was before things shut down. Nana was the hot spot. I don't even know if CM2 is still open. They've been closed for years. I know Sheridan Rivas is closed. That used to be a hot spot. The beer garden was a regular hangout for people. Everything's changed, So expect more. The only thing is you can expect more change. Anyway, time to go. thank you very much for joining me. Appreciate it as always. And like I said, probably Wednesday or Thursday I'll stream again. I'm not sure from where, but hopefully somewhere cool. So thank you very much for joining me, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check down the description all the ways you can help support the channel. And thanks for all the kind words and contributions and the views, and I will see you guys later. All right? Chok di jerk and mai, leo jerk and mai.